Okay, we have Rory Kinsella here. Rory has a lot of hats on, former chairman, secretary, former Wexford manager, Wexford selector, camogie trainer, intermediate hurling trainer, senior football trainer, underage trainer. Rory has a long list. Rory came from Gory, and sure maybe Rory take up the story there now. And maybe even Rory, your father was here before you, so maybe give us a rundown on that.
Yeah, my father worked in Bunclody back in 18, 19, 20, 21, that kind of era. And he taught Irish and Irish music and Irish dancing, and he was involved in the GA club. He was what was called a Timoree. He moved around with the Gaelic League, and then he moved in with the vocational sector, and he ended up principal in Kilmuckridge, Bridgetown, and then finally in Gory. I came to the club here when I qualified as a PE teacher from Limerick. I got a job in St Aidan's Whitehall CBS in Dublin back in the early 70s, mid 70s, and I spent 6 years in Dublin, and then I got an opportunity to go for an interview for a job in the FCJ here in Bunclody, and I took the job, and I'm here since 1980. Got involved with the club a few years later. I still played for Gory a few times, and Liam there gave me a few belts here and there along the line when I was playing for Gory. He was playing for Bunclody, but eventually anyway I brought my father up and showed him the facilities here, and I said I was thinking of joining Bunclody, and he said, so why not? And so I've been involved since at underage, adult level, committee level for a long time, until this year I opted out of the committee after about 35 years.
A lot of water under the bridge since you first came to train the 82 team here, Rory, the intermediate team.
Yeah, that was a great start really. It was great. It was a very small panel, but we had a lot of really good hurlers, and so we won the county final, and the lads went on and won the senior football the same year. Yes. And we've won a few intermediate titles, a good few, I think 5, is it 5? 5, and been in the final maybe 4 or 5 times as well in that period, and held our own in senior when we went up, but we never really had the depth of talent as in numbers. We had plenty of talent, but we didn't have the numbers to survive at senior level, and we kind of yo-yoed up and down a bit. But a lot of quality hurlers and footballers that went through the club.
Yes. And when you came here first, Rory, my father, Willie Kelly, was over the team, and Willie was an advocate of hard first-time hurling, but I think you would have to be credited with bringing the bit of discipline to it, that you only pulled when the ball was there. We were sort of maybe trying to pull a little bit earlier, very late, but I think that was a big focus on that winning that 82 team.
Yeah, I used an expression that time. I think I'm reminded by a few of the lads, controlled aggression.
Yes.
And our discipline definitely improved. And as I said, we had top quality hurlers. We won that county final handy enough in the end, you know. But as I said, there was quality hurlers. Lots of lads played with the county team. Lots of lads, particularly on the football side. You know, we had a very good representation on the county minors, 21s, and senior football teams. You know, not so many on the senior hurling, but obviously Colin Keogh would be a classic example of somebody that made it big, we say, from the club on the hurling point of view.
And we'll move on to that part of your life then, Rory, when you became a selector under Liam Griffin, and then on to the manager part yourself.
Yeah, I had been obviously very involved in schools, both camogie, the football, and the hurling obviously, and we did well at schools level. We won lots of camogie titles. We won an All-Ireland at the top level, and we won an All-Ireland football title, and then we won a few Leinsters in the hurling, and eventually we won the All-Ireland in 2007. But I think Liam had been keeping an eye on what was going on, and he wanted somebody that was involved in teaching and involved with youngsters, and he gave me a ring and asked me would I get him involved in '95, and I did. And let me add that 95 didn't go very smoothly.
No.
But it set the stall out for 96, I think, and 97 and later, you know.
Yes.
So
Liam resigned then after 96, Rory, and you took the reins then 97 and 98. And you were in fierce hard luck both years, I thought.
Yeah, Liam, unfortunately, his wife got ill, and several of the lads asked me would I put my name forward, so I did, and I took the job anyway. And it was obviously it wasn't going to be easy after winning the All-Ireland the year before, but we won a great Leinster final in 97, and we were beaten by Tipperary, better team on the day. We had a few things that went wrong on the day. Rod did his cruciate early on, and we conceded the goal while we were bringing somebody on, and Rory McCarthy got a bit of hardship and had to go off concussed. And Tipperary were better on the day, but we weren't that far behind.
And then was that the first year of the back door?
Yeah, that was the first year of the back door. We
Yes.
would have been. We probably would have been in the All-Ireland because we would have been playing down.
Yes.
And that's no disrespect to down. But it was the first year of the back door, and unfortunately it kind of went against us that year. And then unfortunately then in 98 we were going for 3 Leinster titles in a row, and Liam Dunn had broken his leg, and Billy had retired, and Gary Laffin was injured, and we were unfortunate. We were 2 points, or was it a point up? 2 points up near the end of the game, and I never forget it. It haunts me. And Babs Keaton was looking after Offaly at the time, and they got a 65, and it hit off Ger Cush's shoulder. Babs went out and told Brian Whelan to stick it over the bar. He dropped it in the square, hit Ger's shoulder, went out for a 65, came back out again and told him to put it over the bar again. And everybody in Croke Park could hear him, and he dropped it about 30 yards short, and Johnny Dooney pulled on it, and it went through about 40,000 pair of legs and into the back of the net. Offaly were destined to win that one, I think. All the Ducks were in a row that year, because if you remember, they got hammered by Kilkenny in the Leinster final, and then they got a replay. Jimmy Cooney blew it up early. And then they met Kilkenny in the All-Ireland final, and Brian Whelan was sick, and they moved it from centre-back up to full forward, and he scored 1-3 or something.
Got an All-Star.
Got man of the match, and he was sick. And it was Michael Bond actually that came in and took over. They actually got rid of Babs, if you remember. And Michael Bond came in, but we were very unlucky that really not to win 3 Leinsters in a row, you know.
So then you moved on from that then, and back to the club again for more intermediate titles.
Yeah, 2002, yeah, and then another one. Then we won. What was it?
We lost 2009 to Askamore. 2010.
Yeah, and that was the year Colin Colin Farrell had broken his leg.
Yes.
And then we won again in 2010, wasn't it? 2010, yeah. I look at the club, in fairness, has had a great record, and for years. And when I came to Bunclody first, I think, Bunclody were either in the county final or the semi-final, I think, 13 years in a row in senior football.
Yes.
And we should have won. Talking to the lads from the time, we should have won more than 2.
Yes.
You know, and we were very unlucky not to win a Leinster as well.
Yes.
You know. I think that was against Portlaoise, was it?
Portlaoise, yeah, they went on win the All-Ireland.
Won the All-Ireland, you know.
The same year, yeah.
You know, so. But the underage structure here in the club has been very good, really. And I know we suffer from lack of numbers in some age groups, like every club does. But the underage has done very well over the years, you know, from under 14, 16. Minor and under 21. Like we've been involved in a lot, like,
yes.
You know.
So we move on then to the pitches then, Rory, and we're looking.
I must add, I also did train the Camogie team. We won an intermediate Camogie title, as you did yourself.
Yes.
And all did, I think.
And what year was that, Rory?
Good question.
Yeah. And man, you presented man to play with us.
That's right, yeah.
Yes, that was a great plan.
Yeah. Sharon scored, I think, 3 goals in the county final.
Yeah, I never moved 10 yards. Great way of operating.
Yeah.
So we move on to the pitches then, Rory, and we're lucky enough, the 2 of us, to be here on the 28th of April 85, the 14th of June 2006. Mick Loftus opened the original one, Nicky Brennan opened the 2 new pitches. Tom Handrick was chairman for the first, Micheál Martin for the second, and Micheál Martin is here today to open the John Wall thing. And sure, we're lucky enough to be on board for the three of them.
Absolutely. So, like when we were playing ourselves back in the 80s, we had one pitch going in the opposite direction, one pitch only for the whole club. When you think about it,
yes.
You know, and we managed,
yes.
You know. But look at the facilities now: 3 fine pitches, a magnificent indoor area, a new stand, floodlights. You know. There's many a GA club in the country would be envious of what we have.
And do you think the standard of hurling, you obviously agree the standard of hurling has improved, do you think you attribute that to the pitches, Rory, or also maybe the young girls starting to hurl earlier? What do you
I think over the years the amount of work that was put into underage, I would say under 10, under 12, and particularly with the indoor area, and they also the underage, those involved in the underage, got kids playing over the winter period, which helped dramatically, I think, you know. But the quality of the pitches is fantastic, like, you know, and the quality of the hurlers is good, and we've always had good hurlers, like, you know. It's just that we probably at senior level, as I said, we didn't have the numbers.
Yes.
You know?
I feel the indoor is a great addition to younger groups starting off, where you can bring them inside and hurl against the wall, and you know they get lots of touches of the ball. I think it's a great.
Yeah, and like the scheme with the primary school, and George Rankin has been doing it for years, and the amount of work that George has done in the primary schools and obviously in the indoor area on the Friday, and we used to get, myself and Noel used to give him a hand there, and JJ Doyle was there with him for years as well. So like all those things help out, you know, and it's good that the schools are involved, and we help out the schools, and they obviously promote GA, which is very good for the club as well, you know.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Rory? Because your list is everlasting, but the battery might run out if I went through everything.
No, I think also that the FCJ should get a bit of praise, because the amount of effort that's put into Gaelic games, whether it be football or hurling or ladies football or camogie, has been tremendous over the years. Like and Brendan Daly, the now principal, continues to promote Gaelic games big time,
yes.
And have won an awful lot of competitions over the years, and now have fantastic facilities themselves over there,
which are always available at our club. You have to appreciate.
A magnificent new gym, and all-weather surface on the hockey pitch now, and it's going to be floodlit, and there's a big gym there, as in weights and whatever, and it's all available to the club, and it's great credit due to Brendan and the FCJ convent, and the amount of work that they do to promote Gaelic games.
Brilliant. Well, Rory, that was a great interview.
Thank you.